I mean, they're the better team in your eyes?
Hell yeah. No, but seriously, I guess if you look at the competition, both teams have their merits. You said Thunderbirds went out to EG, right?
Yeah.
And so EG was very strong. EG took out SG, and then SG could have easily taken out EG. So there's just a lot of close Dota games, and then just games come down to the, these few little errors or big plays or whatever you have. So I'm looking forward to this series. As we know, it's always going to be that ping talk. Everybody's talking about ping again. It's kind of what happened like 3 years ago in Dota with North American tournaments not being around. And then all of a sudden, all the North American players had to play European tournaments. That was around like TI3, TI2. Eventually, it got fixed around TI4 time.
5 seconds remaining.
And then now the same thing's coming up. You have AUI tweeting out that he hopes that SG Esports, or they played against SG Esports, and that they wish that they didn't have to play a ping disadvantage and that they deserve their own spot. And I think they do. I think playing at this ping is 120 plus ping is relatively unfun, unfair.
Mm-hmm.
And then
5 seconds remaining.
I'm looking forward to seeing how the next coming tournaments are, because most of the North American tournaments, they invite these South American players, right? To all these tournaments. So it's like, how do you have South American tournaments for NA? It's like almost like South America would have to boot camp in North America or something. Or you need server locations. A thing that I was talking about was maybe what if you had server locations in Mexico, the Bahamas, Texas, something, or I don't know, something along the lines of very in the middle.
Right.
So that the ping is more fair.
Well, I think
just for these games too.
I think one of the things that they did was they had, like, because they didn't want to have to do a real Peru server because the routing or whatever is all weird. But one of the things that people had been talking about was like having a quote unquote Peru server, but based out of Florida, and that's the one where all of it gets hosted through, because then you still have better ping than you would when they play at their own servers. But I don't know. I mean, it's all sort of if, ands, or buts at this point. The big thing to note, of course, is they are going to be at a disadvantage, at least as far as that's concerned. And I gotta say, with the first couple of picks already, this feels very Thunderbirds-esque. They've played a bunch of matches in the past week. I want to say about like 4 or 5, and Lycan is one of their most picked heroes. They just seem to really prioritize this guy.
It's like a double-edged sword here. At sometimes the Lycan versus Legion. Legion can definitely stomp all over him in the laning phase, but then once Lycan has this Vlad's plus Solar Crest on him, then Legion does absolutely poop than him. He's like just trying to right click him. Lycan just life stealing. You can't even duel him Solar Crest because of all the HP he gets back from the life steal, and then the evasion. It's just unthinkable. So maybe SG, that's why they picked up this Night Stalker. They kind of want to contest him early on, this Lycan lane, and maybe try and shut him down, because CM plus Lycan, CM's an okay hero nowadays. She's not the strongest. She does have that stun, but still she's relatively weak at times because of her strength is low. So I'm curious to see what SG Esports, how they're going to set up these laning stages right now.
Yeah. Well, and this does also look, it says stand-in. I do believe that DGB is the stand-in for them. I don't think that that's Tavo. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't have him tagged up as a stand-in since they played in the major with him and the team's been together for a long time. So that's a little bit unfortunate. I want to see if they change things up because of that. I don't know exactly what you would end up doing. Maybe you have this guy come in and still play the 3 role that Tavo did, or maybe you think about bringing, King RD up to play the 3 himself, and then have Cat still on the 5, and then have DBG or GGB on the 4 position. Regardless, it's not what they wanted. But the Night Stalker and then the Kunkka taken as well. I kind of want to talk about the Night Stalker though, because Lycan gets bonus during nighttime, right? Like you get more for Howl during nighttime, and Night Stalker's gonna make it nighttime more.
Yeah, that's a good thing to note. You normally don't think about these small things, and that's one thing that can help buff them up. But the vision game is more so in the favor of Night Stalker. Like when you have these summon wolves up at nighttime, they basically, I feel like they have to be kissing the other team's butt or something to find them. It's just like that little that less of amount of information that the Lycan does bring. That's why a lot of teams do like picking Lycan, is because you're able to scout out all these smoke ganks early, scout out where the enemy team is,
5 seconds
and then you can go
remaining.
from there for Thunderbirds. And then I'll talk about the other side of things where
Reserve time.
Kunkka adds so much potential to team fight, where you have this realm on top of you, and then you also have this displacement and the X and whatnot. So there's a lot of cool things they can do with this hero. Adds a lot of sustain, and I just want to see how they want to utilize Kunkka. Kunkka is a very strong hero, but you have to make sure you're utilizing the hero properly.
And I think
So
was going to say that one of the things that runs into the biggest issues with him is actually maintaining vision, because like I feel like we see a lot of times not being able to get vision for X. It's kind of a long cast animation. Then like if you have to throw a torrent out to get vision and then afterwards cast it, it's just terrible.
that's another thing too. But
10
at the same
seconds
time, if you
remaining.
do, I wonder how Misery wants to play this Kunkka this time
5
around.
seconds
Normally, what we
remaining.
used to see is armlets, but a lot of times nowadays, people for Kunkka, they either go Aether Lens for the additional range
Radiant
plus the magic
team
damage,
bomb.
or they go for mech into maybe Greaves. You might want to go that this game because of the Night Stalker and the silence. And then at the other side of things, we have Night Stalker plus Luna. Like you talked about, buffing up that
10
nighttime is going to be
seconds
great
remaining.
for this Luna. Get all the extra vision, so it's nice synergy there. And then
5
Thunderbirds
seconds
rebutted with
remaining.
Darkseer.
Hmm.
Darkseer Kunkka combo is pretty hard to hit. Normally, that's why you
Reserve
see
time.
Darkseer paired with like Slardar, because it's like instantaneous. But if they're able to maybe do it, then the synergy can be good. Vacuum into Boat or something along those lines, as well as Torrent.
Yeah.
It's not the best synergy, but I want to see if they can make it work. So Thunderbirds, they have like a really tanky, durable lineup. Their DPS isn't all that high right now. Like it's kind of all based on a little bit of magic and then Lycan's right clicks. So SG Esports, they have the better ways to engage right now with the Warlock as well as the Legion Commander. But that last pick, banning out the TA, so they pick up the Lina.
It's just more of the same though, right? Like magical damage. I feel like maybe you take now as like a last pick. I mean, could they do something like a Rubik in the last phase and get a little bit of extra magical resistance with no field? And then you also sort of have, I mean, maybe running Night Stalker in the offlane is a little bit too
5
weird. Where do you like that?
seconds remaining.
What do you think they need, SG Sports?
I think they'll do Night Stalker 4, and then
Reserve
I
time.
like for their mid lane something that doesn't get crushed, as we've seen time and time again. Heroes that get crushed in the laning stage against Lina have a really hard time catching back up in the game. There's not too many heroes left that can really dish out enough to deal with that hero. I always come back to the Medusa because I think it's a hero that actually doesn't lose to Lina too hard. But at the same time, I don't think it's necessarily great against their other heroes. There's... I don't really want to see an Ember because Ember gets shut down,
10
but
seconds remaining.
I like the Ember with Night Stalker because then you can just play aggressive and
5
just keep
seconds
diving and diving and diving. So I want to see like a hero like that, but instead they're going to go back for a durable hero, kind of back to the thing that you were talking about, where you have a hero that can push buildings now, and then he can right click. So they have another right clicker on their team to maybe counteract the heavy DPS the heavy damage output of the magic burst damage.
All right. Well, I like it. I think that it's pretty clear what it is that SG Esports want to do. You know, just take down the towers, start moving around the map as a group up unit. Likewise for Thunderbirds, though, snowballing off of magical damage and kills. I think the safe lane is where I see a lot of strength from Thunderbirds right now. And SG Esports offlane, if they're not careful, might run into some issues. Do you think that they're going to run Warlock Legion together in that lane?
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, that's what I was going to see what they want to do for their dual lane in the bottom.
5
Because
seconds remaining.
what hero do they really want to help benefit in the bottom lane? Heal is definitely, we've seen Warlock and Legion Commander go time and time into the bottom lane. We've seen Warlock and Axe kind of pair up as well, just so you're able to get these levels and not die. So, well, nobody has Battle Pass?
No, this is the
that's-
thing.
this is
Remember,
bugged.
it's the bug
Yeah, yeah.
thing still.
How's it still bugged?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
It's worth noting as well that we did have some penalties that were going on in the midst of the draft. There was a late player. We talked about it already. Tavo wasn't able to join in, so they brought in a stand-in. And for them, it is... Who's he actually going to be playing on? It looks like it is... Yeah, they brought in a stand-in to play in the off lane, so it is going to be the Legion commander. 190 ping, a little bit unfortunate. We talked a lot about this already. I don't know exactly what you do to try and solve that problem, though.
The only way you solve it is by rehosting for a better server. Because the thing is, they have different server locations, and then if it should be, yeah, like it should be 120 to 140 for them if it's like a server in...
Oh, yeah, I can see it up
I don't
here.
know where the servers are located, but I know there's some probably in New York, and this might be a New York server.
I'm getting 120 ping as well. Oh, wait, no. I'm getting 120 FPS. Excuse me. I'm getting 90... I'm getting 80 ping. That's a different thing. Okay.
I got 50. So...
You got 50 FPS? Come on, man. Upgrade a little bit.
I got 110 right now. I need to upgrade, dude. I want to get to 140.
Okay.
Especially when I stream. When I stream, I get like 80. Feels bad. And sometimes it goes down to 70 or 60, especially with Monkey King.
I want to see if I can take these things off, actually. I don't really want the network display information, because then everybody makes fun of my thing whenever, like, big ultis happen. Make fun of my hardware. I feel self-conscious, Ryu, about the state of my hardware.
Same. Same. I need somebody to tell me. I was gonna make a sexual pun there, but I'm gonna refrain from all this nonsense. We're gonna keep it clean today.
Yeah, man, that's what they like.
Keep it smiley faced.
No fired at all.
Admin is AFK. He's gonna be fired. Someone's gonna be fired.
I gotta give a shout out to Leo. This dude has been working his butt off, though. Do you know how many games have been going on like simultaneously all around the world on so many different schedules? He's been the admin in every game that I've cast over the past like week and a half or something. It's always stats by Leo. So shout out to him.
What if he has like 10 computers and then each one is for like admitting each one?
Well, he still has to be up all that time, though. That's the thing. Like, you have to be up and, keeping track of everything to make sure it's all okay. They're asking for a remake. It looks like they're going to do a remake. And I'm going to go back to the score screen, but we can keep chatting. We'll keep talking about things. But yeah, he was saying that he, like, in the past, I don't know, something like a week or so, he's only gotten, like, 9 hours of sleep. It's insane.
What?
Yeah.
That's death.
I know. It's just straight up death. That's what they call it.
Actually, they call it in South America a kill.
A kill?
No, it's like... They said Tavo's PC kill.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty funny.
They're all getting back into the game. Looks like we've got the majority of the broadcasters coming in as well. We can remake an all pick. It's going to be easy peasy for sheezy. But yeah, I'm excited. I think that this is going to be a good game. I was going to mention, though, that sort of safe lane that they've got on the Radiant side, where like a CM catches you with the Frostbite, you immediately follow up with a Torrent, and then like Lycan Wolves and Lycan himself beating on you. Do you think that he skills Lycan Wolves early, or do we see more of like the right-click oriented build out of him, do you think?
Well, you always go Howl level 1. That's guaranteed, because that helps out other lanes as well, and then kill potential there. Also, just to right-click the enemy out of your lane. It's like having your own Lunar Blessing, you could say. So maybe both teams have a Lunar Blessing, but the Lunar Blessing lasts, obviously, infinite. Mm-hmm. So what else? Like you said, the Frostbite into Kunkka Torrent is very scary, plus all the right-clicks. You have to be very careful. But that's the thing with Legion. Legion is okay with taking all this harassment because of the poor man's shield. And then once she gets level 2, she's going to have press the attack to heal up.
Yeah.
I think... I wonder if it's better if they just... I don't know if they should tri-lane and then have Night Stalker jungle and then just Luna against Darkseer, but at the same time you don't want to let a Darkseer have free farm top lane, but they don't have the heroes to really punish the Darkseer unless they keep Warlock and Night Stalker there.
Mm-hmm.
If they keep both of those heroes top, then they can stop them. But at the same time, you don't want to let the Lycan free farm in the bottom lane. And then you can actually prevent the Lycan from free farming if you have the Warlock there, kind of constantly healing them up.
Mm. Yeah, no, that's true. The Warlock constantly healing up the Legion commander, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess the thing I was wondering about too is maybe if you just try and make a life for the Legion commander by taking like an early point up and press the attack, and then you can just press the attack off the Frostbite, and then you should be able to get out of the combo from Kunkka, right?
It's sometimes good, but you apply way more pressure, and then you can overwhelming odds maybe 2 or 3 heroes at a time too.
Okay.
And then you get more damage, then more movement speed, so you can right click more and harass. That's kind of what you want to do as a Legion commander. When you have the press the overwhelming odds on somebody,
Mm-hmm.
You kind of want to hit them like 2-3 times before the haste kind of wears off, and then you just back up. So
Okay.
it's like all about pressuring with the overwhelming odds.
Yeah, and I guess that has been like the way that we've seen it changed around a little bit too, the way that people have been playing Legion. And then we've seen some also in the moment of courage, like so you go a 2-0-1 build or something like that early to try and make sure that you get some lifesteal off the back of it as well. But
yeah, that could be okay. I could see that being fine in maybe 1v1 situations.
Mm-hmm.
It could definitely work.
All right. Well, getting into this, game number 1. We've finally done it. They trolled us twice, but now we're back in the game. I hope that it's on ticket and everything else for all you
I
fine
got one
folks.
less ping. We're Gucci.
Oh, nice. Easy. Soxka, he actually is going to move in and place a different ward than he did before, and they decide not to smoke up this time. So a little bit of an interesting departure from what we saw in the last game.
And then at the other side, SG, they smoke out, but they don't use any TP. So they're probably not going to go for any other shenanigans, you know, like contesting these rooms or whatnot.
Thanks.
I wonder who's... I think Thunderbirds lineup's a little bit stronger early on.
Yeah.
It's about iffy, because if you group up, then all of a sudden, like we talked about, those overwhelming odds can hurt a lot. Plus a breathe fire on 5.
30 seconds.
Right.
To
I miss the old days when you'd have like 5v5 clashes.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
that never happens anymore because of all these different runes.
Mm-hmm.
It'll almost never happen. It'll be like max 3 versus 3.
Yeah.
Or like
5v3.
if you invade. Yeah.
Oh, can I tell you about a game that was great? We invaded an Enigma's jungle, and we just, like, camped him over and over again. It was wonderful. He just kept walking up the hill right into us. Anyways, well, Cat is going to be pushed back here by the Darkseer. It looks like it was a full trade-off of bounty runes, and they are going to be able to... Thunderbirds keep a pretty good hold over their jungle, as it looks like they're just going to be sending the Legion solo down here. And remember, this is also the stand-in. So maybe feeling like it'd be better just to see whatever the Legion can get out of this lane and ensure that you get a good game for your Luna.
King RD. I was watching him top. He wanted to void the Darkseer so he'd stop having the clarity.
Oh.
So they're going to do... You can't even get level 2 off the first wave anymore. So him just being up this
Ooh.
far.
Body blocks?
Trouble.
Yeah, good bit of damage. The
Trying.
Void right clicks. They could think about going for this one if they wanted to. Cat, he thought about it. He was going to take a couple pot shots on his way out the door as well. But... And they are going to go for this build. It looks like there might have been a little bit of a mix-up or something going on where Legion was able to pull a couple creeps her way. So, decent little start here for the Legion.
And she did go for the press the attack, so she didn't get frostbitten and then torrented. But at the same time, Misery decided to start out in the jungle.
Right.
So
I mean, that's the thing, right? It's the trade-off
That's
that you
like-
take now. You're going to have free
Yeah,
farm
it's-
Lycan and free farm CM.
and yeah, at the same time with the CM starting like that, it's kind of a mistake to level up the press the attack. But he's got level 2, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then now he's in a really good position. He's getting more than the Darkseer because they invaded the Darkseer's land, took it over, claimed it as theirs, and then they're going to claim the rune too.
Uh-oh. They might be in a little bit of trouble here, though. They press the attack off the CM and still going to get a couple more right clicks as he is pushed back. But yeah, they're going to be able to take this rune, steal that away from the Darkseer. Moon is not having a great time. There's a reason this hero isn't played all that often anymore.
Sustains, gold remains.
Nope. The best way to do it is, I guess Moon thought they would do a dual lane bottom. And so he's like, okay, they're just going to run a dual lane. They're not going to do this situation where they completely shut me down, and they actually did. So they had both Night Sucker and Warlock camping him. Just trading right clicks right now.
Uh-oh. Bottom lane.
Bottom.
They do have DGB taking some damage. A good press the attack. They have the Frostbite. Needs to get the overwhelming odds, but I guess just ran out of mana. Didn't end up having it.
Yeah, not giving enough respect to the X there once Kunku got level 2. And that's the problem that happened. So that was a really good setup for... Oh, meanwhile, TP top here.
Yeah.
1-on-1.
They're manning up. They want to try and take him down, but King RD, is it going to be a no? The Ion Shell will be able to find the kill and the salve to follow. That was huge for Moon.
Get out of my jungle, son. That's what he said. That's pretty nice for him. He gets up to his soul ring almost here, especially if he gets this camp here, which he will. It's going to be level 3 as well. So everything is going pretty good for Thunderbirds here early on, mid lane. We haven't really talked about this too much. Normally we see Lina's absolutely dominating a lot of heroes, but 40R doing an excellent job keeping up in CS.
Yeah. That's tough. I mean, Lina's have just been known to do that, and trying to bottle up a little bit more, see if we can get another Dragon Slave before they're able to move out of the way, but it does not end up happening. Still just punching this Dragon Knight in the head. Kind of wonder if it's even worth it to get like a 3rd point up in Dragon's Blood just to deal with it, but I guess Breathe Fire is too good not to take.
I think you get
Dire's
the
middle
normal
tower
standard
is
build is
under
2-1-2, so at level 6 you can actually get a kill. I've seen a lot of times people do skip the stun at 5, which is, I think it's a mistake. I've been watching this duel here. Oh,
Yeah.
now it's level. Okay, Misery.
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
problem.
no.
Immediately going to TP out, but is going to be able to make the escape.
So bad there. He should have been looking at his items. You don't cast that void when a CM has a TP.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
That definitely should have been a kill. But you know what? These mistakes happen throughout the course of a game. They're going to try and see if they can make something happen down bottom here. Legion Commander still only level 3, but can man up a little bit. Now they're thinking about dive and resolution. Do we have any TPs in the area? None on the supports, but they cannot dive him under tower.
Trying to see where all the action is going to be coming. So this is good. Night Sucker's at least pressuring bot lane now with the first Knight. This is what you want to have happen. Or he can gank mid lane. He should maybe mid lane. Getting pretty low on Dragon Knight, but
Yeah.
I think he should be fine. Is he going to bring out raindrops? No. No raindrop shits on Dragon Knight. That's normally how you'll almost always survive, even against the Laguna Blade.
Right. No, it's true, and it's one of the reasons why that hero did fall out of favor for a while, but, you know, salve up, stay survivable, saving money for other bigger, better things. T-Birds, though, they're setting up down here bottom. They want to try and find a kill onto this Legion Commander, who is level 4. Misery is here, as well as Soxka, and they are going to be able to walk forward. Howl, Wolf Summit as well. X marks the spot. Thinking about chasing King RD here. Seeing if he can separate them a little bit. It does look like the Legion Commander, at least for the moment. Well, press the attack, running away. And they should be fine and dandy. Maybe even going to be able to turn this back around onto Misery. They have another overwin odds in 3 seconds. They thought about it. They want to go. They might be able to get us. Oh, he gets interrupted. They are maybe going to bring down Resolution here. Still dodging away. DGB, but they can't find him. Right clicks onto Misery. There's the Void and the kill. There's the X marks the spot, though, and King RD, I don't know if they can really dive for him here, as still a lot of damage being dealt out from the Wolves, which another dive forward for the Kunkka. They're not going to go for it.
Meanwhile, on the mid lane, already popping the Dragon Knight ulti. Gonna be taking 1/5 of the tower's HP here. Unfortunately, the rune is bottom. It's a regen, and that is unfair, to say the least.
You hate to end up being the Dragon Knight in this situation. You bring the Lina down low and all of your work for naught. But Weehaw very happy with himself.
Radiant's middle tower is
I mean, this
under
has
attack.
left HFN completely alone down here to farm up, and he's top of the CS right now, and that's 21 denies even. Having himself a really good game.
Trying to see what how Luna's gonna play this game. Like I said, he's doing really well for himself top lane, kind of keeping the lane back, not giving Moon any extra CS. So I want to see how he does, and then like you said about resolution, he's been denying the lane as well, and he's gonna be going for a Midas. Normally you see Vlad's first, but gonna play extra greedy this game.
Yeah, and they want to go on him again. I'm a little bit surprised by this as well, and they are thinking about even diving underneath a little bit for this damage onto Rezo.
That was some pretty good wolf blocking though.
Yeah.
From resolution, making sure that they got in less right clicks, and then making sure to dissuade them from diving. So this ward was planted. It's gonna get de-warded eventually, but well, I thought that he might have gone the kill too.
I'm still seeing Cat struggling a little bit for levels. I mean, level 4 at 7 minutes isn't bad by any means, but you'd love to be able to give him a little bit of alone time. It looks like they're sort of more focused on trying to just shut down Resolution's farm instead.
It's the right call, especially when you have a Night Stalker who's one of the strongest support roaming between the 4 to 8 minute mark, and now that the Night's gone, it's a little bit different. This is where you kind of want to have your own me time for top lane.
Yeah, they're going on him. HFN, they still have Eclipse if they want to use it, but a lot of creeps are here as well. They have the heal out for HFN. They end up bringing down the Kunkka, and now trying to kill off Moon. He's got the heal, but it's not going to be enough. Moon might end up ticking out to this. No, he will live through the tower right click. They found something at least, but definitely not what they would have wanted.
Did your game lag there?
No. Not too bad, at least.
Weird. Well, mine just like, I didn't even know what happened at a little bit of time. I thought we were on perfect world for a second. But yeah, that was a good rotation up. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they got the duel. No, they don't. But they got the right clicks. Trying to force out the rotations. There we go. CM's going to rotate bottom.
Yeah.
They were also trying to force out the Lycan ulti. That has a huge cooldown, 120 at level 1 here.
It feels like they're kind of, right now on the side of Thunderbirds, lacking a bit of ability to fight this, and Misery maybe going to end up going down. They do pop the Lycan ulti here, but
really
they need
nice
to be
silence.
careful. Now in some trouble. They want to try and kill off Misery. Punch to the dome. He is going to drop to suppress the attack to keep Legion alive for the moment, but now out of mana and soon to end up going down. The dodges will not be enough to keep her alive, and King RD, he's stuck around a little bit too long as well. Does have 8 sick charges, so should be fine here. But still, a 1-for-1 exchange. Legion giving up the life for the CM.
Yep, that was a really cool play too. Coming in, silencing out the Kunkka. He's got X again. Uh-oh, King RD.
Yeah, he wants to go for the silence, so they can't get the pullback to time it with the torrent. Nice play there.
Yep. He's a pretty smart guy there, King RD. Been around for a long time. Wily vet. And he's going to go for... I'm curious to see what he goes for in this game. Like, normally when you play Night Stalker, you can either go for the Urn early on to help out in the team fights, or you can just go for that Midas and secure pretty much an Ags around like 20 to 30 minute mark.
Right. Yeah, and I guess it's also going to depend on how they want to try and play the game. If they're feeling like they need to try and end it early, or if they think that, you know, they're in a position where they can scale into the later stages. There is going to be the smoke rotation now, Kunkka as well as CM, but they're going on a very tanky target who has 4 points in the Dragon Blood right now, as well as stick charges. 40 are actually still living through all those ultis, and they're just going to breathe fire off, but will eventually die regardless.
It's one of those situations where you really wish you had a raindrop.
Yeah.
And then you could have probably gotten 2 procs off, but at the same time, not having a Quelling Blade on Dragon Knight, you feel very bad. You feel like you can't get any farm or anything. Saksa's still setting up here for Torrent. Oh, he's gonna hit it, but
Dire's structures are fortified.
TPs.
Still halfway to level 6 right now, and I believe that it was the Night Stalker who took the Tome of Knowledge, so he's gonna pop Darkness now, as there is another rotation, and the dynamic duo of Misery and this Kunkka have just been roaming around, finding things, making kills happen. Now with him picking up a tome as well, it should be pretty close to having another arsenal, another piece to his arsenal with that boat coming out as well.
See, they don't have it just yet though for this team fight.
Torrent Connects. They're walking forward. The duel is there. He's found himself the Lina. Cat as well. He does not have level 6. They're not going to get the kill with it. And CM popping the ulti as well. That's going to be 2 down. 40R in trouble as well, but he actually ended up killing off Weehaw regardless. How did he get... Oh, it was the DOT coming in from the right clicks of him, of course, and now Resolution trying to make some more stuff happen with the rotation from HFN, though. They will be forced to back out.
All right, so what happened there was 40R. He missed his breathe fire to secure the Lina kill, where they could have just potentially gotten out a little bit quicker. And then the dots plus the fatal bonds on top of heroes. HFN overextending a little bit here.
You do have a lot of heroes in the area, though, and still no level 6. They're so close to it on this Warlock. It's one of those things, like, you just wait a little bit longer as the Night Stalker is going to get ran at here. He does have Void, end up being able to dodge that one out for the moment. Yo! ERD trying to find the kill, but he's going to be punished as well. So they won't get the tower. They lose their Night Stalker. SG eSports maybe flubbing here and there a little bit.
Yep, but at least they're making Thunderbirds group up as 5, and they're making the Lycan group up as well. And that's still normally the power of the Lycan. Sometimes he's just able to split push on his own, take towers and whatnot. So having the Lycan come to the team fights early on, that's beneficial for SG eSports, so you don't lose all these towers and momentum. But this tower is very low for the Radiant side here. And then wonder if 4DR, if he's gonna still use his, I think it's his 3rd dragon form, it might be his 4th already, on the mid tower, or if he wants to go elsewhere with it, because they should eventually go stun.
Strike Array is there as well. They're walking in. They could go for this if they want to. They drop the chaotic offering. It's only on to 1, and now with the boat coming out, they're not gonna be able to take this, and instead they're just gonna lose Cat. That was, I mean, that's a debated moment, right?
No, that's wishful thinking moment. That's the thing is, you can get away with that if you have like a blink hero. If the Legion was nearby and he had blink, or Dragonite has blink, and then you can actually get in there, but they're just not fast enough. Lina with 3 points in Fiery Soul is 400 movement speed.
And look at this, 40R caught again is just keeping him back from getting any form of initiation. Like, your golem is not supposed to be like hitting catapults right here. You want to be hitting some towers. They do get the deny, which is nice. Well, and Moon actually also going to be silenced. He already has the mechanism in the chase forward. There's going to be the duel. Can they actually bring this guy down, though? Misery is there with the ulti, and it's actually going to be Moon who ends up getting 10 duel damage. Misery getting ran down is going to take some more of the COT from the urn, as well as that dragon right click, but looks like he will be able to walk away.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Radiant's middle tower has been
So
denied.
he pretty much dueled there without
Radiant's
using
top
his
tower is
press the
under
attack,
attack.
and then he just doesn't have enough heal coming onto himself, as well as the right clicks to finish off Moo. Good CM ulti there, forcing the Dragonite to stun him, and then they don't have the extra DPS. It also did a lot towards the Legion Commander. And then all that time space was giving to both Luna and Lycan. Now Luna did pick up the Mask of Madness, haven't talked about it quite yet. This increases your farming speed incredibly. It's like one of the reasons why you saw Lycan go for it too. Normally the Lycan goes for Mask of Madness nowadays as well, because it just buffs up their farm, it buffs up their movement speed, they can go around the map. And all it really does is, for Lycan, it just gives you that negative armor. It's not too bad. You just pop your ulti, you pop the Howl, and then you're good to go.
Yeah. And I feel like also it's really cool in this game that you're able to get so much done with T-Birds at these early stages. Granted, it's mainly been without the Warlock ulti, but they're also going for Midases. Like, you have the Midas on this Lycan. You have a Midas that's being built up by the Crystal Maiden as well. So I kind of feel like the game is it's not really going to get a whole lot harder for them either, at least until you get like this next big timing with the first set of items from SG, and we'll see if maybe they can make some headway there, but otherwise it could be a rough game for SG Esports.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how SG Esports are going to take these early game team fights, right? Without having BKB on Luna, it can be very tricky. Without having any items on Dragonite, it's also tricky. And a pipe is what they need on the Dire side, but at the same time, nobody is going to be really building into that item just yet.
Yeah. Probably King RD is the closest one to picking up a pipe, but you want to get that Aghanims. I mean, nobody else really wants to get it, right? Like Blade Mail for Luna, or for Lena. No. Legion Commander, the other L. As she is going to walk in there, spots out that Roshan is going down. It only got down to about half HP. They're still smoked up here.
Resolution saw that scan and then he immediately popped his ulti, thinking they were going to come in smoked.
All right. Yeah, and now they drop down a wall as well. Just trying to keep SG back. There's another sentry ward placed down here as well. Observer on the low ground to make sure that they scout everything out. This is not within range of that sentry ward. And it looks like that is going to be about it. I mean, they baited out the Lycan ulti. They baited out the wall. I don't think there's anything else that needs to be done here. Like, can Thunderbirds go back in?
I don't know. This is going to be interesting to see how things go when this wall drops. When it does go down, they're only going to have a vacuum combo. They're going to have boat to work with. No Lycan ulti, that's a huge deal.
Oh, Soxa, he's on the low ground. They are breaking their smoke on this. They still have Warlock ulti, as mentioned. But it looks like, for now, Thunderbirds, they realize they need to back out. Could SG think about going in to steal it at all, or is that just too risky?
It's probably risky because the vacuum combo is still there. Like, vacuum into boat, vacuum into anything, it's always going to be there, so you have to be very afraid. But now that they weren't able to have that successful wraparound, which was a very smart idea, but Dragonite kind of messed up and got himself revealed in the smoke, so now they're just going to have to probably forfeit Roche now. They've kind of scattered to the wind and...
Oh. Yeah, Luna has TP off cooldown. It's about to be back up now. They can still go in if they want to here. It's a little bit scary, though. You have ulti up on several of these heroes. Light Strike Ray, it's going to connect. They force out another one of those Lycan ultis. Now thinking about going in. They're committing a lot onto 40R. Vacuum wall back onto him, but there's going to be a count. I mean, it doesn't matter. Two are already gone, and there's not a whole hell of a lot left in the tank for SG eSports. You've got Luna caught out here as well. Needs to pop the Mask Man as turns the fight, but it's just going to be eviscerated there by the big bad wolf. And now King RD gonna be blocked in by Moon. This should be another kill, a full wipe. And going halfway, ain't no half stepping. You're gonna get taken down.
It's just all kind of set up by Moon having the Blink Dagger too. Extremely farm Darkseer this game, and then when you have that kind of initiation, it's almost impossible. Darkseer has a mech plus a Blink, whereas Legion Commander doesn't even have his first item. That's like a 4,000 gold net worth in the off lane. So you just can't have that right now.
Yeah. No, it's true. And again, you wonder what this might have looked like if you didn't have a stand-in playing with your team too. No offense, of course, to DGB, but Tavo really proved himself to be one of the linchpins of this SG eSports team, making big plays after big plays.
I don't think there's a better player on SG Esports besides Tavo. Like, he's been on point in almost all of his games. Very, very star-studded player. It's always fun watching him.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, they're going to need to come up with something quick on the side of SG Esports if they want to pull it back. But likewise, on the side of T-Birds, making sure you don't get lulled into that false sense of security where you feel like you can take every fight. Because I still think that if you get caught like missing one here on Thunderbirds, can't SG still take fights quite well?
I don't think they can take fights well until they have BKBs. And then once they have the BKBs, it might be too late because they gave up a huge momentum swing. They probably gave up about like 5,000 gold in that last team fight, if not more, which is it's very hard to come back from that because that means the enemy team is just gonna take all your towers. They're gonna split push you to death. And then Dragonite, he's a hero that want to group up and take towers, but they're not able to do that until they get the items. So it's going to be interesting to see if basically Luna can carry this game. Luna was like 3-4k net worth ahead of, or not that much, maybe like 2-3k net worth ahead of everyone, but now it's just stabilized. Lycan's ahead of her now. This Mask of Madness hasn't helped. So. Alright, we got a base race. Let's go.
I mean, I don't know if it's going to end up being a full-on base race, but T-Bird's certainly ready to just walk uphill and make things happen. They do have Warlock ulti that's back up again. Again, this might be a little bit too far forward for him. There is going to be the Lina ulti already on L4DR. He's going to be caught back in. Vacuum wall into the boat, landing right on time. Beautiful plays coming out from Moon and everybody else. Mass buyback, but I don't think they care. Resolution with the triple kill, and, well, if they want to keep going for more, he might end up giving them a Ultra and a Rampage. 4DR caught yet again. Eyes on the prize. They were looking at that melee barracks. It was going to end up going down. 4DR still taking a lot of damage. The right clicks from Rezo. It is going to be another one. The extended Ultra kill. Waiting for King RD to come back in. Moon picked that one up. Oh, wow. Bad to worse to terrible.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
They had to have known they were going to go high ground. I think Luna's TP was on cooldown. Luna didn't even come to that team fight. It wouldn't have mattered, though. They're just too strong. They have too much durability with the mech plus the ghost ship. So, not to mention they had an Aegis to work with, and they still have to work with.
Right.
It's just, it should be an easy tier 2 into tier 3. I don't know if, they still don't have the tools to even compete right now for SG.
And it's sort of a question of, like, when do you start throwing in the towel a little bit? There's not many bright spots left. Like, you can see the idea, the thoughts of eventually getting, like, you know, the big wombo combo. You throw everything out there, things look great, but it's sort of predicated upon you being able to kill somebody. And if they're all 5 together, which T-Birds is going to be, it's not going to happen. So, Tier 3 tower starting to drop yet again. 4DR is there. They smoke up behind. Do believe T-Birds know what is coming their way. You have the Blink. You have the Guardian Greaves. Vacuum wall into the Torn boat yet again. CM ulti coming down from on high. They have the BKB on Luna, which does keep him alive, but, well, GG is going to be called. Mega kill streak there, and HFN, unfortunately, is going to be brought down as well. Big win there for T-Birds in 23 minutes.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see them still pick the Luna into a Lycan. Luna is one of those heroes that we saw how much she could get done out farming the Lycan early on. And if you are able to keep up that, you know, 3, 4, 5,000 gold lead over a Lycan, and you have that extra item over, you could definitely help out. I think, and maybe out carry the Lycan eventually if you get up to that butterfly, maybe satanic and stuff. But normally Lycan just takes it to Luna. All you have to do is just run at her, right click her. And then you just saw the Echo Saber. It just basically slows her down. She's not able to do anything. She can't even fight against her. And then if she pops her Eclipse, the Wolves are going to take the damage as well. So you're not even damaging the Lycan. And then once Lycan gets an Abyssal. So Luna, I'm not a fan of against trying to counter out the Lycan. As you mentioned earlier, you also get double the damage from Howl during the nighttime. And then, so they kind of had that. So when you have the Night Stalker always up, it's just too much synergy going in for Thunderbirds. So this Kunkka plus Darkseer worked out perfectly for them, and they just showed us how to teamfight properly, pretty much from Thunderbird's side.
And I think it's, again, worth remembering, this team, it's been together since 2016, like late in it. Even before then, they played together a lot. But like as a full unit, they've been playing together for like over a year, I think. And to have to pull in a stand-in at the last minute, I mean, it's kind of rough to say. But when the enemy team has 2 dual wins and you have no dual wins, and you have the Legion commander and you're 0-7, like, it's just, I think they need Tavo back. You need Tavo. Tavo needs to be back here and saving SG eSports.
Yeah, and it kind of all came down to this last pick, I felt, for both teams, right? They ban out the TA, and then the other team bans out Puck, and then both teams are probably like, I and Lena, and then all of a sudden SG was like, oh crap, we wanted Lena, but they just took Lena. Yeah. And then now we have nothing to